Hey, this is Blender Hood, and today we are going to create a pixel sword in Blender. Subscribe to our channel so that we can record more quality and better tutorials. I start with pressing T to toggle toolbar, and I right-click on the border of two areas and select Join Areas. I select all objects with press A and delete them with X. Front view with pressing 1 on numpad, then Shift A to add my reference picture. I want to fix the position of my reference with pressing G and set the axis, that will be X. Then, I move the reference ladder with pressing G and Y. I start with a plane to model the blade of the sword. Scale it with press S, then I press RX and then 90 to rotate my plane 90 degree in X-axis. I go to wireframe view with holding Z and selecting the wireframe. I move down these two vertices and move up these another two with press G and Z. Then I extrude the upper ones with E and Z and scale them. Alright, it's time to add the details in the middle of the blade. I make a loop cut with pressing Ctrl R and move this vertex upper. Now in edit mode, I select all vertices and move them forward to add a mirror modifier. Add a mirror and set the axis to Z. Active the clipping and extrude all of faces in Y-axis with E, and press X to delete faces. I select the vertices around the object and move them along the Y-axis with pressing G and Y. I delete these two faces under the object. Add two subdivision modifier with press Ctrl 2 and smooth the object with right-click and click Shade Smooth. I go to edit mode and bevel these two edge loops with selecting them and pressing Ctrl B. You can change the number of segments with mouse scroll. I set it to 3. I set the 3D cursor to here with selecting vertices, hold Shift S and select Cursor to Selected. I add a plane and rotate and scale it, add a loop cut in the middle of it, and delete the right vertices. Then add a mirror modifier. I enable clipping, and then extrude, and move the vertices to correct place like this. I add a subdivision surface, pressing Ctrl R to make that edge sharper. I select all faces and move them forward, and add a mirror modifier. I will redo what I did on the first mirror. Now I press Ctrl R to sharpen this edge. As you can see in the reference, I move these edges to get the curve of the object. For this object, I add a cylinder and set the vertices to 16. Then I adjust it according to the reference. I enable the snap, then I set the snap to vertex and snap width to center. Then I move the objects to center of blade and scale it. I add a subdivision to the cylinder and bevel its edges with Ctrl B. Then I add 2 loop cuts with Ctrl R and mouse scroll. Press S and Y to scale it. That'll be my second support line. I bring 3D cursor here with Shift S. For last object, I use a cylinder again. As you can see, we have a bug here. I make another 3 objects bigger with S and Y. I can make the last one with extruding and scaling the bottom face. Then I bevel this one. Add subdivision surface, then deleting the top face and beveling another edges. Eventually, I check the normals with enabling face orientation, and if they was red, I select them and press Shift-N to fix it. Well, if this video was helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel.